Detroit Den family, welcome back. Steve here. If you see me, you know what I'm talking, Detroit Lions football. That's what we do. I'm a Detroit Lions football junkie. If you're just like me, this is the place you want to be. I feel like we might have set a record here on Detroit Den 313 because it has been quite a while since we have talked about Jameson Williams. At one point, I feel like we were doing an episode on Jamo. Like, honestly, it felt like every 3 days. And I feel like he's kind of been forgotten about, if not by other YouTubers, than by ourselves. So I need to touch up on some Jamo, man. I feel like when I see, and again, I'll iterate that I don't watch other Detroit Lions content creators. And if you guys have been following my channel, you know why that is. But I see a lot of stuff about secret weapons and X factors and breakout players. And I feel like when we're talking about that on offense, it's got to be Jameson Williams. Now, when I classify a breakout player is a player who tremendously exceeds their expectations. Like, we know what we're going to get from Amon St. Brown. For him to be a quote unquote breakout player, he'd have to get 2,000 receiving yards. That would be breaking out, in my opinion, because you know what you're getting with St. B. He's going to get you 1,000 yards. He's going to get you 7-8 touchdowns, if not more, in both categories. That's probably like the baseline. Sam Laporta last year was considered a breakout player. Nobody really anticipated him getting, almost 1,000 yards receiving, 10 touchdowns. It was all fantastic. But if you could look me in the eyes and tell me that before the season started, you knew that was going to be Sam Laporta's stat line, I'll shake your hand and buy you a beer, because I don't think anyone really saw that coming. That was a breakout season. So when I'm looking at Jameson Williams, a guy who only touched the ball, what are we talking, like 27 times last year total in 12 games played, 24 receptions, 3 carries, 354 receiving yards, 2 touchdowns, and added another rushing touchdown. I feel like Jameson Williams is going to fit that category perfectly of breakout player. Now, a lot of this is going to fall on Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson, you have to get one of the most explosive players on this Detroit Lions offense. It's either him or Jahmyr Gibbs. Anytime they touch the ball, it could be a home run. You could be an 80-yard touchdown, 99-yard touchdown. Anytime those two guys specifically have the ball in their hands, you never know what could happen. You could be witnessing a magical play. So on average, Jamo is only averaging about 2 catches per game. We need to bump that up. Now, I'm not saying Jameson Williams has to touch the ball 8 or 9 times a game, but is 5 unrealistic? Is 5 a crazy number? And I get it. We only have one football to go around. We have the best running back duo in the NFL, Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, Sam Laporta, who I mentioned, who's, he's going to get his touches, Amon St. Brown, Donovan Peoples-Jones is a player I think is going to have a nice year too. But when I talk about absolutely breaking out, I'm talking about a home run hitter anytime you get him the ball. The only time I've seen Jameson Williams have a bad play, and it wasn't even his fault, it was just on an end around, and Max Crosby on Monday night absolutely lit him up. Nothing Jamo could do. Max Crosby is one of the best in the NFL. Read the play, saw it coming, studied his film. Jamo got the ball, he popped him. Only really bad play. I mean, Dan Campbell has a philosophy for your Detroit Lions receivers. No block, no rock. So I wish I had a clip. I did not clip this. I should have. I apologize. My favorite play last year was the Chargers game on the road. During David Montgomery's 75-yard touchdown run, who's downfield blocking for him? Jameson Williams. Jameson Williams was about 10 yards ahead of the play. That's the kind of speed we're talking. Like, he's downfield, getting ahead of David Montgomery, throwing some blocks out there. So when we talk about that no block, no rock mentality, or that necessity to get the football, Jameson Williams has met it. I feel like this is really his first true season in the NFL, and I can't keep saying that forever because, we can go back, we can look at the injury when he was drafted from Alabama, his knee injury he had in the national championship. We kind of knew, hey, this is a toy we're going to draft. We're going to have to set it on the shelf for a little bit. You can't play with this toy for a little while. It's the worst thing you could do for a kid like me who wants to watch Detroit Lions football and have those exciting plays is put a toy on the shelf and tell me not to touch it. And then last season, the suspension from the gambling. So it was kind of, he got to play in the preseason, got to do the training camp stuff. I remember going to some practices, and he was the first one out of the facility to come onto the field. Both practices I went to, Jameson Williams, first guy on the field. This kid's putting in the work. I'm not saying he deserves to touch the football because it's really just based on schematics and all that. I understand, but when you have a guy like him, you got to get him the football more than twice a game. Just have to find a way, Ben Johnson. You're creative enough. You are the most sought after offensive coordinator the last 2 seasons. When the seasons come to an end, everyone wants to interview Ben Johnson. You keep wanting to run it back, and I love it. I appreciate it. I'm not trying to knock you. The only thing I want to see different from this offense this year is a little bit more explosion, a little bit more boom. And I feel like we have a team who's designed to just kind of pound you into the dirt, grind you into the ground. And in the fourth quarter, we're just going to wear on you with our offensive line, similar to like what Michigan football does. If you guys aren't Michigan football fans, it's just a reference, just controlling the clock, running the football, dominating the trenches. But sometimes you just need that home run hitter. Let's get Jamo on some screens, some bubble screens, some pop passes, some isolations where he's one-on-one with elite speed. Not many corners are going to be able to cover him. I'd like to see him just used in a lot of different ways. I truly, truly think when I think of, if you were to sit me down at a bar and we were having a beer together, just shooting the shit, you asked me, who's going to be the most explosive player on the Detroit Lions this year? Without a doubt, I'm going to say Jameson Williams. That's the faith I have. I feel like on this show, we have defended and stuck up for Jameson Williams more than anyone else. Like, I got a shield on my back, and I've taken a lot of arrows for this kid when it comes to the fireworks or driving around town, handing out money. And I see a lot of radio stations kind of calling him out for it. Like, dude, this kid's still young, man. He's got a pocket full of cash. He wants to go have a little fun. Who wouldn't, right? Early 20s, you give me a couple $1 million, I'm going to go have a good time too, responsibly. Let him just live his life, man. But when it comes to on the field stuff, he checks all the boxes for me. He blocks, he catches, he's explosive. Maybe we even mess around and put him on some kick return with these new rules coming on. Why not? Why not? Let him get a head start. Let's check out these new football rules with the new kickoff and see what he could do. I'm not saying I want him on punt return, but it's just an option. We just got to get the ball in his hands. We need every chance we can to hit a home run. So why not use Jamo a little bit more? I feel like toward the end of the season last year is when he really started to kind of blossom a little bit. I feel like it was in that Dallas game. He had the big play. And again, it's not like he had a ton of catches, but he did have that one catch that kind of set up a game tying drive. I believe it might've been on the drive where we ended up tying the game in the whole 2-point debacle where the refs fucked us, but that's a story for another day. I feel like that was the game where he kind of showed what he can do. And it wasn't anything overwhelming. It was just kind of like a flash, like, hey, this is what you guys might be able to look forward to in the future. Plays like that. He did the same thing against Tampa Bay where he had the nice catch in the end zone for a touchdown. Like, he's made some plays. We just got to get him in the football a little bit more, guys. So just wanted to hop on here real quick, talk about Jamo. It's been a little while. Like I said, we were talking about him pretty regularly. I feel like maybe we didn't forget about him, but maybe we just needed to shine a little bit of light on him. And I truly, truly believe he's going to be the breakout player for the Detroit Lions. So leave a comment down below. Let me know how you're feeling about our guy, Jamo. Stick around, hit that like button, guys. I'll be back later with another show.